So let's get started. Let me just open console log as well. Console log. Okay. Here there are a few methods that I would like to teach today. Those are push, pop, these kind of methods. Very important and more used methods. These are. After this, we will move to a DOM objects. Then we can proceed with making some of it. So let's say I have an array. Let me just keep a simple array now. Let's not make this complicated. I have an array here, a simple array that has 10, 11, 12. Let's say I want to add let's say I want to add some more values to this array. At that point in time, how I can do is, you guys know how to modify. You can just select this item, or you can replace this item. You can select this item. What if I want to add some new value to this item, to this array? This is important because there is already some data inside the database and you want to update the database. At that point in time, you can use this kind of methods. We have something called as push. Okay, first of all, how do you use this? Write the name of the array, that is num here. Write nums dot push. You have this push and open this brackets and enter whatever the value you want to enter. Let's say I want to add, let's say I want to add 7, sorry 6. Save. And now if I do console.log, if I do nums, see, the array is updated now. First the array was this one, 10, 11, 12. Now you can see 6 also is being added to the array. Okay, same way if you want to insert array inside array, this thing also you can do using this push method, nums dot push, and I want to insert an array, right? So I'll just mention like 5, 4, 3, save. Okay, I have inserted this array also. Now let me just print this new updated this one. Let's see what is the output. Nums, see, the array inside array is also added now. You guys can see this one. Yeah, see this array is also added. So like this you guys can insert the array inside array if you need. Yeah. You guys understood this part, the push part? Let me know if you...
Yes, sir.
Okay. Similarly, we have let me just remove this. Similarly, push is used to push the data inside an array. We have one more thing called as pop. Pop is nothing but, what if you want to remove the data from the array? At that point in time, you can use this pop. Okay, pop is also one of the very used case. You can remove any data, whatever there in the last of the array. If you want to remove that, you can do that one. Let's say nums dot pop and save. I've saved it. Let's see, let me just log this out. Nums, let's see guys, again I have got the original value. I've removed the 6 because I've used pop. I've removed the 6. Yeah, so push is used to insert a data inside an array, and pop is used to remove the data remove the data from an array. Okay, so what yeah, yes, somebody was having doubt.
Yeah, Shahid, only the push and pop operation happens only at the last of the element, or any intermediate element also we can modify or change it.
No, only the from the push and the pop, it takes place only at the last elements. Okay, you can do it for the first elements also, but for that there is a different method. After this, I'll teach you that.
Okay.
Yeah. So, guys, this one happens like, let's say I've removed the data. I've removed 6 from an array using pop. I have removed. See, first, no, this was an array using push method. I added 6 to the array. Okay, and this array was updated here, and the array is updated. Then I used pop and I removed 6. Okay, and updated array is this one. What about this one, the removed 6? Either you can leave it just like this, or you can store it inside a variable. Let's say unique. You can store it inside a variable, this data also, whatever the removed item from the array, you can store it inside a data also. Let's say if I'm printing this log, yeah, see, the 6 that is removed from here, that I stored inside a variable using pop. No, using pop I removed it from the array, but I stored the removed value, whatever the removed value, I stored into this variable. I printed this variable, you can see here. Guys, understood how to use this part?
Understood, sir.
So what you will do is create an array of 5 animals. Create an array of, not 5, make it 4. 4 animals or animal names. Okay, animal names, and use and push, and use push, and now I insert one more animal, which means 5 animal names should be there inside an array. This is your first task. Then use pop and remove the last item from array. Yeah, guys, just do this and share me the screenshots, then we will proceed with. So okay, let's get started. So guys, like how we have push and pop. Okay, like how we have something called as push and pop. Similarly, what if I want to, you know, add an element in front of array, at the beginning of the array. If I want to add any item at the beginning of the array, how do I do that? For that, there is something called as, okay, shift and unshift. To remove the item at the first side, whatever the first item is there, for that, if I have to remove the first item, for removing the last item, you guys know we have something called as pop. For removing the first item, we have something called as shift. Yeah, shift. Just save, and let me just log the nums now and see the result. See guys, I have removed the first item from the array. Okay, and this removed item also, no, I can store it in some variable. Okay, I can store it inside. So the removed this, I mean, I've removed this 10 from the array, and that thing I've stored it inside the variable. I can do it in this way also. Okay, so for removing the data, you guys can use shift. So what if I want to insert item first? How do I do that? Okay, you can do it in this way. There is something called as, let me just select the array, and that is, there is something called as unshift. Okay, and whatever you will put here, that will be entered here. Okay, let's say, and I'll insert an array of, okay, 8, 9, 10. Save, and let me just print it now and see what's the outcome. Yes, see guys, the array, I have inserted an array now, 8, 9, 10 array inside an array. Hopefully you guys have understood shift, unshift, pop, and push.
Yes, sir.
Yes, right.
you so much guys for confirmation. So let's move forward and let's understand the DOM elements now. Okay. See guys, there is something called as DOM elements, that is document object module. Very important topic, and literally everywhere this is used. Let's say I have h1 that says welcome. Okay, h1 that says welcome. No, we don't need this. Remove it. H1 that says welcome. Okay, and h1 has an id. H1 has an id of head1. Okay, so what if I want to change this welcome to something else using JavaScript? How do I do that? Okay, if you know, there are many ways to do that, but one simple way is, first thing to do is to select this item inside h1. How do you select it? There's something called as document dot get element by id. We'll put this document dot get element by id. We are getting the element that has an id. We'll select this id, use this brackets and select this id, copy this id and paste it here. Okay, so what we did is we just got this, we just selected this item. I told JavaScript document dot get element by id. This is the id, get element by the id. Okay, hopefully you guys have understood this part. I have selected this element, and you can, what better you can do is you can just insert this inside a variable. So
Shahid, your screen is stuck. I think a network issue might be.
okay, Aisha, is it same for you also?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me just rejoin that. Okay, so guys, if you can see here in the JavaScript, I'm trying to modify this welcome that is inside HTML. I'm trying to modify welcome using Java. From JavaScript, I'm trying to modify this welcome that is inside HTML. How do I do that? We have a method called as document dot get element by id. Okay, I want to select this item, and this element has an id called head1. Okay, I can just copy this head1 id and I'll put it here. Document dot get element by id. See, I've got this, I've selected this item that has id h1. I've selected that item. So what I can do is, okay, I can now change the welcome. How can I do that? I can insert my own text like document.inner HTML, which means I'm telling the document. First thing what I did is I just selected the element that has ID of head1, and now what I'm doing is I'm putting inner HTML inside HTML equal to my website. I've inserted this. See guys, first thing is I selected the element, then I inserted whatever the string I want to insert. Understood? Let me know if you guys have any doubts, any questions on this. If you're clear, just type C. Okay, yes. Thank you, Sajid. Thank you, people. Okay, thank you. So, I usually, what I do is, let's say, here, what you can do is, you can, instead of putting a string here, so this is a string, right? Instead of putting a string, I create a variable called as my website variable msg. Okay, or I can just create a variable called jar, and I can store this string inside a variable. and instead of putting a string here, I can put my variable. Still the output is same. Yeah. So guys, hopefully you guys have understood enough how to modify the how to modify the modify the elements inside HTML. So what you people will do is session. So what you people will do is make this p element, select this, give an id to p element, select this inside a JavaScript, and make a change to that paragraph. I made a change to the h1. You guys make a change to a paragraph. Just do this and share me the screenshot. This is one way to update the HTML. Okay, this is one way to update the HTML. Another is you can also update the style of an element using this. Okay, let me just add this. Let me just put this inside a variable so that I can use it again and again. So I'll just put this as head1 equals to also document.variable. So this is the head1 now. If I just print this, you guys can see the entire HTML element is selected inside that. Okay, head1. You see the entire h1 element is selected. Okay, I can now insert, if I want I can insert HTML element, or I can also make the changes to the style. How can I do that is, first one is inner HTML element. I can do it in this way. I can just put jar, and you guys can see the HTML element is updated. I can also make the changes in style, like I can do it in this way. Dot style dot, let's say I want to change the color. I can make the changes to the color. Let's say I'll make it green. See, the color is changed. It's as simple as that. Yeah. So guys, the task is simple task for you people is, what you guys will do is create three buttons. Okay, let me just write this here. Create three buttons with names green, red, blue. If I click on green button, the h1 should change to green. If I click on red button, the h1 should change to red. If I click on blue button, the h1 should change to blue. Can you guys do this?
We'll try, Shai.
Yeah, just try doing this, guys. Simple. If I have to tell you, is create functions. Okay, create functions and put these things inside a function, and assign this function to the buttons that you guys are creating. That's it. Simple, and it is resolved. The solution for this one is simple. Let's say I want to make three buttons, right? Let me just make three buttons here. Want three buttons. So see, I've made these three buttons. I'll just write. Okay, sorry, not needed. I'll just write green, red, right. See, I've made these three buttons, and three buttons have. So let me just make a function here. Function called as red. And what this function does is, this will select this one and insert a style on this color, and color should be red. Simple. Fish. Same way, I can loop through it, but as of now, or I can give a if statement, but as of now, I'm just for simplicity creating different functions. That I know this is lots of code. For green, I'll just give the green color. Again, the function name can be anything, whatever you want, guys. But for convenient, I'm keeping the same function. Do save this, and I've created three functions here, and three functions has a three functions also. You have selected this variable. That variable has this variable, and that is this that function. What this function is doing is inserting a color. And this function is inserting this color. This function is inserting this color, and I'll call this functions inside this variables, inside this buttons. Suppose this is green, right? So green, and here on click, I'll do this red. Here I'll do like on click, and give it as blue. Let's see if this works. See, I'm just clicking on green, and the color is changed to green. I'm clicking on red, it is changed to red. If I'm clicking on blue, the color is changed to blue. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time, people. And this is time for rating. How was the class today? You can give your rating. Okay, 10, 10. Thank you so much, Aisha and Sajid, for joining and making it interactive.